I want to now talk about Daniel Jones and the New York Football Giants. Giants fans, I hate to tell you this, but it's the honest truth. Daniel Jones, right now, as I speak today in 2020, he is a below average starting quarterback. That's just the facts. I was not a huge fan of the Giants selecting Daniel Jones with the number 6 overall pick. I looked at him when I watched him play at Duke and I said, that does not look like a 6 overall pick. That does not look like a top 10 pick. He had an average arm, wasn't all that dynamic. I wasn't all that sold, okay? And we're 24 starts into his career, and once again, up to this date, I'm still not sold. I'm just not. Now, can Daniel Jones turn things around? Yes, it's possible. I do think that the Giants, if they're smart, they should go out and get him a number 1 wide receiver in the offseason. Darius Slayton's pretty good. Evan Ingram, while he has his inconsistencies, he's pretty good when he gets open, but when you look at the Giants offense, there's no Saquon Barkley this year. The offensive line is very hit and miss, and for what it's worth, I don't think the wide receiver core is all that dynamic, but definitely help if you get Daniel Jones another wide receiver to really help him out. That would definitely help out this offense. The Giants are an improved team, but it's mainly due to the coaching staff and the defense, not the offense. So, listen, there could be a situation where if the Giants put more talent around Daniel Jones, he could really pop off and become a franchise quarterback, and listen, it's been a tough year for these young quarterbacks, Daniel Jones had to learn a whole new system. It's been a crazy year and a pandemic year, okay? He's had to learn a whole new system, like I said, and the team around him is kind of hit and miss. The supporting cast around him is not the greatest. And for what it's worth, he could turn things around because the coaching staff, they believe in the guy. Apparently, they say he works very hard. He's got a great work ethic, and he's got some mobility to his game. And that's very key in today's NFL, okay? But, folks, we can't continue to make excuses because Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are rookies. They had to learn a new system. They're rookies in the NFL, shredding the NFL apart. Justin Herbert, he's been amazing this year. Joe Burrow, he's been amazing. What is Daniel Jones' excuse? Deshaun Watson. While Daniel Jones is not on Deshaun Watson's level, but, if you're a franchise quarterback and if you're a guy going forward that the Giants are going to eventually have to pay a bunch of money to, you're going to start looking like a franchise quarterback. And listen, Deshaun Watson, he hasn't wavered despite having a bad team around him. Teddy Bridgewater, he's winning games with the Carolina Panthers. They're not a great team. Jalen Hurts, we saw last game. The Eagles, they have a bad offensive line. Their best wide receiver is Jalen Reagor. The coaching staff is inept at times. He goes out and beats the New Orleans Saints in his first ever start. If you have it, you have it. Either you have it or you don't. I don't think Daniel Jones has that special sauce to be a legitimate franchise quarterback. And listen, I know what you Giants fans are probably saying. You're probably saying, how dare you call Daniel Jones below average? You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Giants fans, fine. Let's play a little game right here. I want you Giants fans or you Daniel Jones apologists to name me the current starting quarterbacks that Daniel Jones is better than. Because that list is either very short or does not exist. Sam Darnold? Maybe. I'd probably lean towards Daniel Jones. He showed me a little bit more in the pros so far. Mitchell Trubisky? Maybe. Trubisky won 12 games 2 seasons ago. He was a field goal kick away from winning a playoff game, but you can maybe convince me that Daniel Jones is better than Mitchell Trubisky. Drew Lock. Drew Lock has struggled this year. I'd probably lean towards Daniel Jones. So we're at 3 quarterbacks right now. Alex Smith, maybe. I say Alex Smith is more accurate. He's better at reading defenses. He's a better leader. I'd probably lean towards Alex Smith, but you can say Daniel Jones is maybe better. Carson Wentz, he's looked awful this year. I still take Carson Wentz over Daniel Jones just because Carson Wentz is just much more talented than Daniel Jones. And he's having a bad year. This might be an anomaly. Last year, Carson Wentz was playing like a top 10 quarterback. He could return to that form next year, maybe with a fresh start. But folks, I named you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks. Who else is Daniel Jones better than that's starting in the NFL right now? not many quarterbacks. He's just not that good, okay? And when I evaluate Daniel Jones, here's what I see. I see a guy that has terrible pocket presence. I see a guy that has a hit-miss deep ball. I see a good athlete, but he hesitates to run at times. He doesn't really have a great feel for the game. You know, there are lanes open for him to run, but for whatever reason, he just doesn't want to run. I don't know why he's so timid to run. He's got an average arm, and up to this point, he can't stay healthy. Last year, he had an injury late in the season, and this year, he's hobbling to the finish line once again. And Daniel Jones is a quarterback that is consistently inconsistent. For his career so far, we're 24 starts in. That's a big enough sample size to evaluate him, okay? He's got 35 total touchdowns and 24 career starts. That's not bad, but when you factor in the fact that Daniel Jones has 46 turnovers to go along with those 35 touchdowns, that's a problem. It is, people. Daniel Jones is a poor man's Jameis Winston. He's Jameis Winston with a worse arm, people. And Jameis Winston right now, you know what he is? He's a backup quarterback. Everyone kept saying, oh, if we get more around Jameis Winston, if we keep building the roster, Jameis will get it one day. Jameis will get it one day. He'll get it one day. We're 6 years into Jameis' career. He's a backup. He could not fix his turnover issues. And I don't know if Daniel Jones' biggest issues are salvageable. I don't see it. I don't think Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. I just look at the guy and I see, he's okay. A big reason why I'm not a huge Daniel Jones fan is simply because the good side of Daniel Jones is not great enough for me to be okay with his bad side. Okay? You know, because here's the thing. Daniel Jones' high moments are good. They're not great. Okay? When I compare him to other quarterbacks in the NFL, obviously not close to Patrick Mahomes, not close to Deshaun Watson, not close to Russell Wilson, not close to Aaron Rodgers. Heck, even to this day, despite their older age, you know, he's not close to Tom Brady, not close to Drew Brees. When I look at Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills starting quarterback, I see special. Lamar Jackson, I see special. Kyler Murray, I see special. Joe Burrow, I see special. Justin Herbert, I see special. Tua Tagovailoa. I've been hard on Tua Tagovailoa this year. I'm not all the way in on Tua Tagovailoa, but what I see in Tua Tagovailoa is consistency. A guy that does not make mistakes. The one thing I know about Tua is he's accurate and he doesn't make a whole bunch of mistakes. Daniel Jones, at times his accuracy down the field is hit and miss, and he makes a ton of mistakes. And Baker Mayfield even looks more special than Daniel Jones. Right now, I'd take Baker Mayfield over Daniel Jones in a heartbeat. There are plenty of quarterbacks starting right now in the NFL, and there are plenty of college quarterbacks that are going to be entering the NFL this upcoming year. Guys like Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Keaton Slovis next year. Those guys can make the same throws that Daniel Jones can make, minus the turnovers. 24 games in, I'm not sold on the guy Daniel Jones. I'm just not. He's going to get another year because the Giants, they're not in position to draft another quarterback, you know, that's at least, you know, elite. Zach Wilson's good, but not great to me. Trey Lance, you know, you're kind of banking on his potential, not what he is right now. And you're not in position to get a Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence unless you're willing to trade up and give up massive draft capital and some of your good young players. I'm not sure the Giants are willing to do that. I know for a fact that Dave Gettleman does not want to move on from Daniel Jones because, well, if Dave Gettleman gives up on Daniel Jones, then the Giants have every reason to give up on Dave Gettleman. You want to know why? Because Dave Gettleman, he drafted Daniel Jones. So he's going to get another year. He could prove me wrong next year, but I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Daniel Jones being a long-term franchise quarterback. I'm just not. And I think Daniel Jones right now is a poor man's Jameis Winston. He's Jameis Winston with a worse arm. And right now, to this day, Daniel Jones is a below-average starting quarterback that is holding back the New York Football Giants. Imagine if Deshaun Watson or Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert were on the Giants roster right now with that defense, with that coaching staff. This team would be above 500. But Daniel Jones is the weak link. He is holding the New York Giants back. And for all those reasons, I believe Daniel Jones is a below average starting quarterback as I speak today in 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.